What's up, everyone? I am Jason C, and today on the Master and Drum, I looked at my stocking and I got Jack Daniels. This is the brand new Jack Daniels single barrel proof rye release for 2020. I've taken some sips, and you're gonna want to hear about this one whether you like rye or not, today on the Master and Drum. So after 2 years of Jack Daniels single barrel heritage releases, Jack has brought us a new single barrel release that should appeal to pretty much anyone that loves a rye whiskey. The new Jack Daniels single barrel 2020 special release barrel proof rye, according to those behind it, is described as a Tennessee Rye that is the distillery's newest grain bill since Prohibition. Now, it is made up of 70% rye, 12% malt, and 18% corn. Barrels for it were aged in the highest areas of the barrel house, which was a unique trait for the heritage barrel release as well. Our team created this special release to give our friends the chance to taste our rye whiskey at the proof Mother Nature created, said Jack Daniels' newly appointed master distiller, Chris Fletcher. Now, this barrel proof offering is as close as you can get to being inside a barrel house and sampling it for yourself. Now, he went on to say, "I'm excited to begin my tenure as master distiller alongside this special release that celebrates our award-winning rye whiskey, and I look forward to sharing it with my many friends of Jack who are sure to be satisfied." Now, Jack Daniels already sells two versions of rye whiskey, an 80 proofer and this 94 proof single barrel. But a barrel proof offering was something that a lot of people wanted ever since they released a Tennessee Tasters version of the barrel proof rye that was only limited to the state of Tennessee. Now, if none of you have ever seen the Tennessee Tasters bottles, this is what they look like. They were, like I said, only released in Tennessee. This is the high angel share barrel release that they came out with, but they did have a barrel proof rye Tennessee Tasters edition that released as well. That was the first time I tried it, and I could not wait for this one to be released. So this is bottled at full proof, uncut, unfiltered. You still got that charcoal mellowing that Jack Daniels is famous for. It's a single barrel offering, but limited to just about 200 barrels in total and priced for about $65 retail. It's available now in select markets. Now, my particular bottle here is 129.4 proof. Now, depending on the barrel you get, the proofs will vary. I've already seen a couple at 130 and higher. And this is, let's see here, this is bottle number BPR 25692 and barrel number 20-06868 for those of you who may or may not have the same barrel that I do. All right, cannot wait to taste this one with you guys. I've been eagerly anticipating this release. Like I said, I've taken a few sips of this and I already, well, we'll get into it. Here we go. Let's go to the nose first. The first scent I got on this, the day I opened it, was chocolate chip cookie dough. Honestly, I know it's a weird thing to get in a rye, but I mean, if you've ever just cracked open some Toll House chocolate chip cookie dough, it literally smells like that in the glass. You do get the rye spice in there, but like I said, the chocolate chip cookie dough scent really kind of overpowers the little bit of rye spice that's there. There's also like that vanilla and the maple syrup note that you usually get with the Jack Daniels as well. I don't get a ton of the banana note that you usually get in Jack Daniels, but it's there. It's kind of faint. It's a little bit overpowered again by the chocolate chip cookie dough, the maple syrup, and the really strong vanilla as well. There's a really nice dark fruit aspect to it. It's like figs or raisins or almost like a fruit cake type thing going on. It's very sweet on the nose. And to top it all off, you do get a good amount of oak. You get almost like a fresh barrel note to it as well. Just a fantastic nose. It's absolutely delicious if you like a sweeter rye. So let's go for a sip. Here we go. Ooh, that is some spicy Christmas cake. The first thing that impresses on you is the mouthfeel of this. It is thick, it is rich, it's syrupy, it's very sweet up front. Now, once you get past the first sip, now again, this is just under 130 proof, at least my bottle is, and it's dangerously easy to sip, which is a little bit alarming because it's so sweet and so rich. You know, you would think you would feel that proof more, but you don't really feel it as much as I thought I would. You know, the first sip you definitely do, but after your mouth kind of, you know, after you put the fire out a little bit, it starts really becoming a little bit of an easy sipper. So let's take another sip now that the fire's out, and let's take let's, you know, kind of go through a little bit more of the experience here. This is just like maple candy with almonds, definitely some brown sugar in there. The rye spice is there, but I mean, it's on the very, very back end. You get like this mintiness, this like burst of like chocolate covered mint. Again, you do get some of that chocolate chip cookie dough note that I was getting on the nose. Translates to the palate, it's not as strong. Really, the sweet flavors kind of take over, the syrupy vanilla, the maple syrup. Got a hint of like a coconut, like a little waft of coconut in there too. Another sip. All right, so again, as you sip this, it really gets a little bit too dangerously easy to sip. All those sweet flavors that you get right up front, the brown sugar, the maple, the vanilla, as soon as it hits like mid-palate. Now again, as sweet as this rye is, and all the maple, the brown sugar, the vanillas, the caramels that you get up front, as soon as this hits mid-palate, all that spice comes in, and then you get hit with like this nice burst of like a spiced orange. Again, more like that spiced, like a fruit cake, the dark fruits, the orange. It comes down to the back of the palate. That's when you get hit with like this mint, like this burst of mint. Like a York peppermint patty, a little bit of the chocolate, a little bit of mint, but it like laced with like, you know, cayenne pepper almost. Man, this thing just, I mean, sweet, spicy, a little savory. There's a tropical note to it, but it's also very sweet. It's kind of all over the place. One last sip here. Okay, so like I said, all the sweet flavors that you get, I mean, it's still remaining very consistent. Again, and for 130 proof, this drink's way too easy. But the orange spice, the maple candy, the brown sugar, the little waft of coconut that's there. Then when this hits back palate, York peppermint patty, a little bit of cayenne pepper there too. And then you get a little hint of like some fresh barrel wood. It just has like this really interesting balance. This is as good or better than I remember when I had the Tennessee Tasters. All right, guys, I want to do a quick comparison here to kind of go through the differences between the regular single barrel rye and also compare it to the brand new Rare Breed, which is a barrel proof rye that just came out this year as well, which is one of my favorites at 122.2 proof from Wild Turkey. So let's go to the single barrel rye just to kind of give you some, you know, some differences and some also maybe some similarities if you're used to drinking this. So this rye is definitely sweet, but the regular single barrel rye definitely has a little bit more of a banana kick. You still get that chocolate. And I'm pulling more of like a dark fruit note out of this one as well. Again, that maple syrup is there, but again, it's just not as deep and rich as this one just comes off like you're literally drinking like syrup. Let's go for a sip of the regular Jack Daniel's single barrel rye. The quintessential Tennessee Rye flavors there from Jack Daniel's, the maple. You definitely get the sugars, the brown sugar, the rye spices there, the pepperiness, a little hint of chocolate, not nearly as much as this one, to the barrel proof. When you compare now, my God, I mean, even when you compare the glasses, this I just took a sip of, I mean, it is just clinging to the glass. Whereas the rye, this regular single barrel rye, is definitely a lot thinner. Still flavorful. I mean, if you're a fan of the regular Jack Daniel's single barrel rye, this thing is gonna blow your mind when you compare. This is just like syrup, super punch of flavor, whereas this is definitely a little bit easier to drink, I would say, but even the flavors in here don't even really compare to the barrel proof. The barrel proof is just a lot more amped up. All right, so really was excited to compare it to the Rare Breed. Let's see what we got. All right, so if you've had the Rare Breed rye before, the Rare Breed comes off very, very citrusy on the nose. It's very orange forward up front, very spicy up front as well, but a little bit on the sweeter side. You get your Kentucky Rye notes, your vanillas, your caramels. You definitely have some spiciness, but more in the way of like a spiced orange as well. Definitely some cinnamon. So the thing about the rare breed is as sweet as it is on the nose. Let's go for a sip. This just comes in, it's like someone smacking you in the face with a Christmas tree with the rare breed. I mean, all the oranges and the, you know, the minty notes and the almost like a, yeah, like a Christmas tree type flavor profile to it. There's a lot of rye spice in there. It's a lot sweeter on the nose than the palate would indicate. Whereas the barrel proof rye, it's just more candy. It's more candy, it's more like potent. And you know, this is non-chill filtered, 122.2 proof barrel strength. And as much as I love this, the Jack Daniel's one is still coming off even more syrupy. I mean, this is sticking, but and the barrel proof rye for Jack Daniel's and the color difference, the Jack Daniel's definitely comes off as darker than the rare breed. The Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye, what can I say? That thing is, it's a beast and it's absolutely delicious. All right, guys, let's do the final breakdown on this one. The price on this is about 65 bucks. Secondary pricing, I have seen this as high as 200 in the very beginning, but I've seen it come down to about $150. Availability for this one is limited, like I mentioned. Again, there was only 200 barrels that they chose to fill a bunch of bottles for. Being at barrel strength and such a high proof, I'm sure those, again, there's really no age statement on this. I would guess it's around that. It's hard to tell because there's so much flavor in here. It could come off as older than it is, but I would guess it's around 6, 7, 8 years old maybe. As far as value goes, I think this is above average. I think for what you're getting for a $65 barrel proof rye, think about it. All the barrel proof ryes that hit the market that are normally special releases, you had an amazing barrel proof rye from Foregate. Again, that was what, $170 to $200. Kentucky Owls, when they hit the market, those are $200. The newest one I think is $300, which is crazy. Even the, you know, the BTAC ryes, which get up there between $125, and then if you don't get a good price on those, you could see those on secondary for well over, you know, $300, $400, sometimes $500 for those. The SAS 18 can go for close to $1,000. So this, in hindsight, when you look at the market, is actually a damn good value. When it comes to the most I would pay for this, I would probably pay up to $100 for this. I like it that much that I would pay $40 to $45 over retail to get another bottle of this. You probably guessed, yes, I'm gonna recommend this, but I would say if you're hoping that this is a spicy rye, this leans more towards sweet. The spice is there, the mintiness is there, the quintessential rye spice flavors and the pepperiness is there, but there's so much sweet layered on top of it. I mean, this is not an MGP 95.5 or even a Kentucky Owl. This is liquid candy. It's rich, it's sweet. It does carry some rye spice. It drinks dangerously easy for being about 130 proof. And if you just, I don't think you have to be a Jack Daniel's fan to enjoy this. This is, again, it's almost like a dessert rye whiskey, which is just, it's really delicious. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this review for the brand new Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof Rye. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, find me on Instagram, find me on Twitter. Let me know if you've had this, what you think of it. Is it too sweet for your taste? Do you think it drinks as easy as I think it does? I think it's absolutely a phenomenal release. Jack Daniel's is just killing it with these special releases. The Heritage Barrel, I was a huge fan of, and this one is no exception either. So what can I say? All of it, it's delicious. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. So cheers, and here's to getting some Jack in my stocking. Take care, everybody. See you next time.